One of the most difficult parts of working alone as a solopreneur is dealing with the daily struggle of depression. I sometimes call depression a monster because, like a monster, it's scary, it's dangerous, it's really good at lurking in the shadows, and a lot of people like to tell themselves it doesn't exist. But they're still secretly afraid that it might. I've been working either remotely or completely alone, off and on, since 2006. I've heard a lot of influencers and industry professionals talk about staying inspired or keeping your skills sharp and the value of continuing education. But I've almost never heard people give presentations on how to deal with depression when you're self-employed or working from home. Why don't people talk about this? Why do people pretend it doesn't exist? I've read articles and heard news stories about how people are suffering from remote work burnout or Zoom fatigue, from being isolated at home and having to sit through so many virtual meetings. But I still rarely hear or see anything about actual, real depression as a daily battle that some people have to struggle through. So let me state clearly, right here and now, depression is real. Depression hurts. It's easy to ignore and pretend it doesn't exist, or pretend that you don't have it. And as I learned when a friend of mine committed suicide in 2018, I'll say this too. Depression kills. It's not just a matter of having a bad attitude or feeling sad. Depression is like a dark rain cloud of misery that hovers over you every day, making it hard for you to get out of bed in the morning, remember why you chose the work you do in the first place, or feel good about yourself and the work you do. I don't know whether depression is caused by working alone and feeling lonely or not, but I do know they're correlated. Working by yourself all day, every day, can be absolutely depressing. It can make you feel like you're lost out at sea on a tiny little boat that no one is ever going to find. No one will ever rescue you, and you will always be isolated and alone. Depression is not a joke, and it's not something to laugh off. And if you struggle with depression, it's not something that you can just deal with or get over. I'm not a doctor, a therapist, or a counselor, but I am intimately familiar with the monster of depression. I've read a lot about it, and I've personally spoken to professionals about it. One thing I'm certain of is that there is no magic pill, and you can't just be cured of depression if you have it. Above all, the most helpful thing I've found is just being able to talk about it and admit it in front of other people. If anybody reading this is having a tough time, just reach out to me, and I will be listening. You can talk to me.